During a recent episode of Live with Kelly and Mark, co-host Mark played his daily trivia game. Survivor host Jeff Probst joined Kelly and Mark to play. In Stump Mark, a caller provides two different statements. Only one is true, and Mark has to figure out which it is. This time around, however, Jeff took the place of the caller. Jeff's two statements were, I had many jobs as a teen and was fired from most of them, as well as when I lived in Wichita. I won the lip sync battle 3 years in a row. Mark incorrectly made his guess, and Jeff called out, give me the mug. That meant Mark was officially stumped, and Jeff was winning the coveted live mug so many contestants have been after. The audience cheered for him as Mark jumped to his feet and threw down his cue cards. He walked away in mock anger, only for Jeff to jump into his seat and hold up the t-shirt he also won. Ouch. Recently, Kelly asked Mark if he was okay after he made a mistake on air. Mark apparently forgot the name of a hockey player he had in mind. Early on in the episode, Kelly and Mark went through some of the day's topics. Mark announced, very exciting news for Patrick Lundqvist. And unsure Kelly replied, okay. Mark had not given the correct name. He was referring to the Swedish former professional ice hockey goaltender Henrik Lundqvist. Mark seemed to realize his mistake and corrected himself, Henrik Lundqvist. He added, who's Patrick? Kelly seemed slightly concerned, asking her husband, are you okay? Mark chuckled but answered, no, I'm not okay. His exasperated wife continued, he's been on this show. You've spoken to him. Mark quipped, he's very handsome, too. He continued on with the segment to announce the hockey player's induction to the Hockey Hall of Fame. Loud and proud. Recently, Kelly asked the Live with Kelly and Mark crowd a question, what got into them? The crowd was extremely loud when both hosts came into the room. And now, here are Kelly Ripa and Mark Consuelos, the show's announcer, Deja Vu, said to start off the show. Kelly, 53, and Mark, 52, walked out arm in arm and waved to the audience members. Mark could be heard saying, oh my God, as he looked out at the audience. The entire audience was on their feet and cheering loudly for the live host. The crowd continued to stand as Kelly and Mark sat down. Mark looked around the room and saw everyone standing up. Welcome to the show, everybody. It's November 13th, 2023. Welcome, Kelly said, rolling up her sleeves. Wild bunch today, Mark said to his wife. They are wild. What got into y'all? Kelly asked. The crowd laughed and continued to cheer as Mark got into the first topic of the day. Let her be. During the same show, Kelly called out critics online who judge her eating habits. The host discussed movies being longer and how some theaters are thinking of implementing intermissions. Hollywood is now calling for intermissions at theaters, Kelly informed the crowd. This led her to say that you have to buy more snacks now for the second part of the movie. What's your favorite snack? Mark asked Kelly. I love dots and buttered popcorn, she admitted. And I don't want to hear it. Kelly put her hands up as she repeated the phrase once again, which caused Mark and the audience to laugh. I don't want to hear about how I'm supposed to put. What are the chocolate-covered peanuts called? Kelly turned to her husband to ask. Goobers, a crew member told her. I don't want to hear about how I should put the goobers and the raisinets in the popcorn and mix them together. Ooh, Mark said, sounding intrigued by the combination. I like what I like, okay, Kelly said. I like my buttered popcorn separate and my box of dots separate. I don't want to hear it, she said. Noted, Mark responded. Because I'm going to get it all day on Instagram. You should really try. SHH, Kelly blasted. You put your goobers in your popcorn and Godspeed. These are my snacks, Kelly said. My snacks aren't about your preference. Okay, thank you, she nodded before sitting back. Kelly finished by saying that she was tired of people telling her what to eat.